results.
Welcome back, and in section 2 we're going to look at the remaining service management practices, and then we will look at the technical practices, of which there's just the one, deployment management. Then we'll be looking at some more exercises and some mock exams. The service desk is an important practice to know about, and before I even talk about the service desk practice, I want to talk about how the term service desk is used, because it can be very confusing. When people talk about a service desk, they are sometimes talking about a service desk team, a group of people, an organizational unit. That's not how ITIL 4 uses it. Sometimes when people talk about a service desk, they're talking about a tool, piece of information and technology that's used for logging and managing user requests. That's not how. Sometimes when people talk about a service desk, they're talking about actually a supplier or a partner or an organization that's providing a service desk capability. Again, that's not how ITIL uses it. And going to the fourth dimension of service management, sometimes when people talk about a service desk, they're talking about a process for managing user requests and incidents. And again, that's not the ITIL use. The ITIL use of service desk is a practice to capture demand for incident resolution and service requests. It should also be the entry point and single point of contact for the service provider with all of its users. That will include one or more teams of people. It will also include almost certainly some kind of information and technology used for capturing and managing information. It will include one or more processes that contribute to many value streams, and potentially it will include partners and suppliers as well. So the service desk, like every other practice, covers all 4 dimensions of service management. But what it doesn't do is resolve incidents or fulfill service requests. Those are parts of other practices. So the purpose of the service desk practice is to capture demand for incident resolution and service requests, and to be the entry point and single point of contact for the service provider with all of the users. It provides a clear path for users to report issues, queries and requests and have them acknowledged, classified, owned and actioned. So we can imagine that we have some kind of a funnel. There's things coming in. There might be incidents, there might be problems, there might be service requests, there might be complaints, there might be anything. So the service desk as a practice will acknowledge those, will classify them, will own them, and will act on them. What does that mean? Well, when they come in, they're all queries. We don't know yet if they're incidents or problems or complaints or service requests. We need to acknowledge them. Now, if they come in by telephone, that means talking to a human being. If they come in via service portal, that might mean sending an automated response. There's many different ways that it could come into a chatbot, and the chatbot will do the acknowledgement. We need to classify them to identify, is it an incident, is it a change, is it a service request, and so on. Based on that classification, we may then use contributions from other practices and other processes to manage the ongoing activities for that request. So if it turns out to be an incident, then it will now follow the incident management practice and processes. If it turns out to be a service request, then service request management will come into its own. But the service desk as a practice continues to own all of these queries until they have been closed. That doesn't mean the service desk agent that answered the phone has to own them. It means that as a practice, we need to ensure that everything that comes in gets acknowledged, classified, gets owned until it's completely resolved and that action is taken on it. Thank you for attending this ITIL 4 Foundation e-learning course, which is a preparation course for candidates taking the official Axelos ITIL 4 Foundation exam, which is conducted by PeopleCert. One World Training is an authorized training provider for all modules of ITIL 4, Prince2, Prince2 Agile, PeopleCert Scrum Master, PeopleCert DevOps, and Service Desk Institute courses, including Service Desk Analyst V8 and Service Desk Manager V8, and many other courses. All courses offered by One World Training are available via e-learning and live online. For enrollment queries, you can contact info, I-N-F-O, at oneworldtraining.com, as you see on this slide. If you've got any questions about anything you have learned on this training course, then you can email One World Training using that same email address as shown on this slide. I hope that you have enjoyed this course, and I'd like to wish you good luck in your ITIL 4 Foundation exam. Thank you and goodbye.